rage bait. This is a term that's been thrown around everywhere all over social media. But what the heck is rage bait and what do we need to know about it? Lock in because it's about to be a long video. Well, first of all, what is rage bait? Rage bait is the absolute art of finding a way to annoy someone while saying something you absolutely don't care or don't believe in. Basically, the express way of saying something to draw out an angry response from someone else. And if we break down the word, one word is rage and the other word is bait. Bait when you think like fishing, like fish bait, like catching the fish, and then rage isn't like angry, like imagine somebody like breaking their setup because they lost in a game. So now that our scholars have established what is rage bait, what are the steps to making an absolutely eccentric rage bait? Well, we have one of our best examples here from FaZe Clan, and I'm gonna break down why this rage bait is just so effective. We're gonna break this down in 3 easy to know steps. Step 1 is the trigger. So I'm gonna roll out the clip here and we're gonna break down why this trigger is so effective. Roll the clip.
Women have the same rights as men. Do they? Yes. You've never been a woman, so how do you know that? Because I just know the way. What if he wants to be someone?
Alright, as you can see, that is a very broad trigger right there. Now, usually I wouldn't show an example that's just so offensive, but of course we do have to take a rather extreme example to break this down. So the steps to an effective trigger is saying something that is borderline annoying or triggering to the other person, thus making the claim women have the same rights as men. As you can see, Lacey was clearly just trolling around here, but the lady takes it seriously. In the trigger step of a great rage bait, you'll essentially see somebody saying something that's borderline annoying, borderline inflammatory, and watching that person completely lose it. We'll see this in a lot of the gaming clips where someone is criticizing someone else's play in a trolling voice and the other person takes it seriously. Essentially, in the trigger phase of a rage bait, you want to say something that you don't take serious and the other person takes way too seriously. Now, of course, the topic here is men and women, which is something that I'm not really touching on right here. It's just the fact that it's an effective trigger in this situation. Of course, because these people are having some kind of debate here. But that is step 1 to setting up an effective trigger in a rage bait. Step 2 of an effective rage bait is the frustration stage. This is the stage where the other person proceeds to get mad and actually start getting triggered by the rage bait. Let's take a look at this FaZe Clan example.
Ma'am, please calm down.
So as you can see, the lady is completely losing it. She's slamming the table, she's going crazy, and the old man in the background is losing it because he knows she just got rage baited. In the frustration phase, you'll see a lot of anger expressed by the other person. Raised voices, slamming on desks, screaming in mics, a lot of troubled facial expressions. And in a lot of these rage bait clips, you'll see the other person is completely emotionless, completely looking and watching that other person's world burn, which is insane. And another step of this rage bait that Lacey does, he also says, "Ma'am, please calm down." Now, this is like adding fuel to the fire. By saying something like, "Ma'am, please calm down," you're essentially telling that person, "Hey, please continue what you're doing because I told you to." See, the thing as human beings is that we love autonomy. We love doing things on our own will. So when you tell somebody to do something and they do it, they have to have a certain level of respect for you and not be angry at you to actually go do it, right? Now, in this situation, this lady is already triggered, and you could just tell she's lost all respect for Lacey because she just got rage baited. So the fact that he's telling her to do something completely reasonable is calming down, and her not doing it just shows how mad she is. Let's take another scenario. Let's say you drop something on the floor by accident, then your friend or somebody random next to you tells you to pick it up, but the moment you pick it up, they say, "Good boy." Notice how immediately you want to drop that thing again. That's basically what Lacey's doing here. The poor lady has been rage baited to the max. Essentially, if she stops talking right there, she loses the argument as essentially a good boy. And good boy is not something you say to someone else, it's something you say to a dog. So then again, putting someone at the status of an absolute animal is some crazy work. Now, step 3 of an effective rage bait is the playoff phase. This is where the other person is completely calm and lets the other person finish getting triggered. Now take a look at what FaZe Clan does here.
Ignorant, and I don't want you to... Yeah, you're just ignorant.
As you can see, they are doing this pose and staying calm. Now, if you don't know this pose, it's the rage bait pose. The one where the monkey is completely normal and the lion is completely losing it. That's basically what the rage bait is in this situation. They play off acting completely calm, doing all of this while the other lady is completely losing it. Now, in the playoff phase, it's crucial that somebody stays calm and does the pose. The other person is going crazy while the other one is in complete control. Now that we've gone over what rage bait is and the steps to an effective rage bait, where is rage bait actually used? Well, first of all, comments are the craziest place where you see rage bait, and probably the most frequent. Them TikTok comments are ridiculous because people just say outrageous things to get a response. One of the most common ones is like, "Am I beautiful?" And they just say that randomly, and they just get people replying with, "Oh, you're a bot," or "Oh, stop talking," or people just say something outlandish, put the laughing emoji and put this emoji and act like everything's all fine, bro. Like, no, bro, it's over for you, it's GG's. And of course, since now every social media platform is adding like photos in the comment section, you're gonna see a bunch of people just putting like the same old monkey rage bait photo. But we also see the Jordan Peterson photo. Now, I actually looked into this. I don't really see like any real rage bait moment from this. I think he was crying like over his father, which is actually insane out of context clip if that's true. And then of course the infamous Jason and stable Ronaldo photo where Jason is out there getting rage baited. Now, let's reverse this situation. Let's say you, yes you, are the person who's been rage baited. What are the top 3 ways to withstand rage bait? Here are the latest and greatest responses to the art of a rage bait. Step 1 is to stay calm. This prevents the trigger phase and stops the other person from getting their clip off. The moment you actually get mad and acknowledge the rage bait is the moment you take the L. You cannot and should not fold under any circumstances, because the moment you do, you lose. Step 2, you need to call out the rage bait. Someone ever tried to play a trick on you but you call it out and then it completely takes away the effectiveness, the other person loses all their aura? One of the best ways to counteract a rage bait is to call out the fact that they're rage baiting. The moment you do that, that person loses all of their aura. Imagine in the clip if that woman was like, oh, nice try with the rage bait. Notice how she would have got a clip off instead of the phase boys. Because not gonna lie, calling out rage bait gotta be one of the best forms of neutralizing it. And then step 3, which is optional, the comeback. This is extremely hard to do. You're gonna have to do something crazy like pull off a reverse rage bait, like counteracting rage bait with another rage bait. Or some people will be going into roast battles. But I'm not gonna lie, whenever you see a roast battle, you gotta be able to say something crazy. Because if you can't, you will get cooked if the other person's way more experienced than you. There are just some people online who you should not roast. Like Reggie should never be roasted. He will fry you. But essentially, once you pull out the comeback, you should take the dub. But honestly, it's definitely one of the biggest aura gambles you could do, because if you lose that comeback war, you are taking another L because you fell for the rage bait by trying to make a quote unquote comeback and you lost it. GG's, bro. Now, what are the wider effects of rage bait online? Now, this is basically a word in everyone's vocabulary. Whenever somebody gets mad, you're gonna hear the word rage bait. Anytime someone gets triggered, they'll be like W rage bait. The moment you get angry, it's an immediate rage bait. And now it's just so prevalent and popular that you're just gonna see a bunch of people rage baiting in comment section, rage baiting absolutely everywhere just to see if they can pull it off. And so many of these clip hunters are gonna try and use you for one, bro. The rage bait only works if you're completely oblivious to the fact. Once you understand that it's an obvious rage bait, you're never gonna lose that. But of course, you just have to know. Those who know. But that is the art and the lore behind rage bait. Let me know, have you guys ever pulled off a successful rage bait? Or have you been the victim of an insane rage bait? And what is the craziest rage bait you've ever seen? Let me know down below. And if you guys don't know, I also have an Instagram and TikTok, both at Hyperstrides, so give that a follow. Subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and see ya.
Women have the same rights as men. Do they? Yes. You've never been a woman, so how do you know that? Because I just know the
what if he wants to be someone else?
No, you have to deal with the women. Like, you don't know what it's like to be a ma'am, please calm down. I can't. No, you're ignorant, and I don't want you to. You're just